Imagine standing at the edge of a massive canyon. You cup your hands around your mouth, take a deep breath, and shout. A moment later, clear as day, the canyon shouts it right back at you. Pretty magical, right? Now try the same thing in your bedroom. Go ahead, yell at the wall. Nothing? Silence. But here is the weird part. The sound did bounce off your wall. The echo happened. You just could not hear it. So what is going on? Why do canyons talk back, but your bedroom stays quiet? The answer involves your brain playing tricks on you, and it is stranger than you might think. To understand echoes, we need a quick refresher on sound. When you clap your hands, you squeeze the air molecules right in front of you together. Those compressed molecules push into the ones next to them, which push the next ones, which push the next ones, like an invisible chain of dominoes rippling outward. This is a compression wave, and it races through the air at about 343 meters per second. That is roughly 1,000 feet per second, faster than most sports cars can drive. These compression waves spread out in every direction from the source, getting gradually weaker as they travel farther. And when they reach your eardrum vibrates and your brain interprets it as sound. Now here is the key to echoes. When a sound wave slams into a hard, flat surface like a cliff face, a concrete wall, or the side of a building, it does not just stop and disappear. It bounces right back. Think of throwing a tennis ball at a brick wall. The ball does not pass through or vanish, it ricochets back toward you. Sound does the exact same thing. The reflected wave carries nearly the same energy as the original, traveling back through the air in the opposite direction. This is sound reflection, and here is the mind-blowing part. It is happening all around you, right now. Every sound you make is bouncing off every surface in your room, hundreds of times per second. So if sound is bouncing off everything all the time, why are you not hearing echoes constantly? Because your brain is sneaky. It has a built-in audio filter that you cannot turn off. If a reflected sound reaches your ears within about 1/10 of a second after the original sound, your brain just smashes them together. It treats them as one single sound. You literally cannot perceive them as two separate events. Now, let us do the math. Sound travels about 34 meters in 1/10 of a second, but the sound has to go to the wall and come back, so you need the reflecting surface to be at least 17 meters away. That is roughly 56 feet. Anything closer, and your brain merges the original sound with its reflection. No echo. And that is why your bedroom does not echo. Your walls are maybe 3 or 4 meters away. Sound hits the wall and comes back in about 1/50th of a second, way too fast for your brain to separate it from the original. The reflection still reaches your ears, but your brain blends it right in, making the original sound just a tiny bit louder and a tiny bit richer. You are hearing the echo every single time you speak in your room. You just have no idea because your brain is processing it as part of the original sound. It is kind of like how you do not notice your nose is always in your field of vision. Your brain just edits it out. But there is a fascinating middle ground between no echo and a perfect canyon echo, and you have definitely heard it before. Walk into a big empty gymnasium, an underground parking garage, or an old stone cathedral. Clap your hands once and you hear this lingering, ringing quality to the sound, like it hangs in the air. That is called reverberation. It happens when sound waves bounce off multiple surfaces and arrive at your ears at slightly different times, all crammed within that fraction of a second window. Instead of one clean, distinct echo, you get dozens of tiny overlapping reflections that blend into a warm, sustained wash of sound. It is like the difference between a single hand clap and a round of applause. Here is something you might have noticed. An empty room sounds completely different from a furnished one. Move in a big fluffy couch, hang some heavy curtains, throw down a thick carpet, and suddenly that echoey ringing almost vanishes. That is because soft materials absorb sound instead of reflecting it. When a sound wave hits a heavy curtain, the fabric vibrates and converts that sound energy into tiny amounts of heat. The wave does not bounce back. Hard, smooth surfaces like concrete, glass, and tile are excellent sound reflectors. Soft, irregular surfaces like foam, fabric, and carpet are excellent sound absorbers. Recording studios exploit this by covering their walls in acoustic foam, creating rooms where almost zero sound reflects back. They call them dead rooms, and they feel eerily quiet. Now let us get back to the superstar of echoes, the canyon. Canyon echoes are so dramatic for a few reasons. First, canyon walls are solid rock, one of the best sound reflectors on Earth. Almost nothing gets absorbed. Second, the walls can be hundreds of meters away, giving you a nice long delay, sometimes several seconds. And third, opposing canyon walls create multiple echoes. Your shout hits the far wall, bounces back, hits the wall behind you, bounces forward again, and keeps ping-ponging back and forth. Each reflection is a little quieter than the last as the sound loses energy with every bounce, until it finally fades into silence. That slow fade of repeated echoes is one of the most satisfying sounds in all of nature. Humans stumbled onto echoes by accident, but some animals built their entire survival strategy around them. Bats are the undisputed champions. A bat flying through pitch-black darkness sends out rapid-fire ultrasonic clicks, sounds so high-pitched that human ears cannot detect them. These clicks bounce off everything around the bat, insects, tree branches, cave walls, and return to the bat's enormous ears in slightly different patterns. From those returning echoes, a bat's brain builds a detailed three-dimensional map of its surroundings in real time. It can detect the size, shape, distance, speed, and even the texture of objects. A bat can catch a mosquito in total darkness using nothing but sound. That is like playing catch blindfolded and never missing. Dolphins pulled off the same trick underwater, and in some ways, they are even better at it. A dolphin produces rapid clicking sounds from a special organ in its forehead called the melon. These clicks travel through water, which is a much better sound conductor than air. Sound moves nearly 4.5 times faster in water than in air. The returning echoes are picked up through the dolphin's jawbone, which channels vibrations directly to its inner ear. Dolphins can echolocate so precisely that they can tell the difference between a golf ball and a ping pong ball from across a swimming pool. They can even detect fish hiding under sand by picking up the faint echo differences between sand and a fish's swim bladder. Humans eventually figured out that bats and dolphins were onto something incredible, and we copied them. Sonar, invented during World War I, works exactly like echolocation. A ship sends a pulse of sound into the ocean, waits for the echo, and measures how long it took to return. Divide the time by 2, multiply by the speed of sound in water, and you know exactly how far away the ocean floor is, or whether a submarine is lurking below. We also brought this technology inside the human body. Medical ultrasound sends high-frequency sound waves into your body and listens for the echoes bouncing off organs, bones, and tissue. Those reflected signals get turned into a live image on screen. Every baby photo taken before birth is literally a picture made of echoes. One of the most beautiful applications of echo science is in concert hall design. Acoustic engineers spend years perfecting how sound bounces inside a performance space. Too much absorption, and the music sounds flat and lifeless. Too much reflection, and everything blurs into muddy noise. The sweet spot is a reverberation time of about 1.5 to 2 seconds for orchestral music. Engineers carefully shape walls, ceilings, and seating to control exactly where sound reflects and how long it lingers. Some of the world's greatest concert halls were built over 100 years ago by architects who understood echo science intuitively. They got the geometry so perfect that musicians still consider them the best sounding rooms on Earth. So here is what I want you to take away from all of this. Right now, in whatever room you're sitting in, every sound you make is bouncing off every surface around you. Your voice, a door closing, even the click of a keyboard. All of it is reflecting, re-reflecting, bouncing around at 1,000 feet per second. You just cannot hear the individual echoes because the walls are too close and your brain is too clever. But if you could somehow slow down time and see sound waves, your room would look like a glowing pinball machine with invisible energy ricocheting everywhere. Echoes are not just a fun trick that canyons do. They are happening all around you. All the time, in every sound you have ever heard. Ever. If you like this video, check out one of these, and don't forget to subscribe.